From the Bolt Bros are in the
Let's
house.
go.
We are here for the bye week. Woo! Yeah, and it's got stress.
Boring.
Sunday, no football this week, but guess what? It still is Raider week, so we could throw out a couple shots about the Raiders coming up next week. But
2
we got
weeks straight for Raiders week.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah. Actually, some people have even said 3 weeks of Raider week, or at least bye week, I should say, because last week sucked. So it was a bye week last week, essentially, for us. But we got a good show here today. Talk a little bit about kind of the last 6 games for the season, and also talk a little bit about Joe Hortiz, because some people put a little bit of heat on Joe Hortiz and what he's done and has not done for this team. So once again, guys, let's just go ahead and get into it then and get it rolling. So, Bolt Bros.
Let's go.
Ever heard of the sleeper app? Here's a little secret.
What's up, Pyramid, man? You watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Bolt Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Wait, what happened there?
I don't even know what's going on.
That ended early too. What the
dude? I don't know what is going on here.
I was used to the intro button being like at a different spot, and I just went straight to it and like,
Yeah, and I know my internet connection's been really bad all day today, so hopefully I'm not causing any problems on the stream.
Okay,
no.
What the heck just happened? I didn't press nothing.
Bro, I don't even have my hands on the keyboard, dude. So I don't know what's going on here. Holy crap. What is going on here, boy? Hey, this show is on a bye week now, officially. The system, platform, everything is on a bye week. It is rough right now, guys. Holy
Mentally,
crap.
We're on a bye week, that's for sure. So
100%.
Man.
My brain is having a connection issue. So I don't know what it is.
And yes, Chris, Andrew is missing his jacket. And by the way, here you go. I'm going to show you.
And spit on that thing.
Look at this, guys. So this is one of our shameless plugs here, Bolt Bros. See, we even got it on the back here too. Let's see here. Bolt Bros podcast. Dude, loving the jackets, guys. Yeah, jackets look great. And we'd love it if we start doing a couple extra colors too, so we could maybe do yellows and powder blues and variations of it too. Great looking jacket though, so we're pretty hyped about it, man. So
it looks like Andrew lost his connection.
Andrew's down. Too, so. Andrew down.
Bolt Bro
down. But
he'll come back if he can. So yeah, like I said, this there's a good one here. It's like our stream is struggling like our own line. That's for sure, Miguel.
That's exactly it, dude. And also, Ather already put out a super chat saying, Andrew and Kyle are chickens. I will explain. $1.99 super chat just to tell us, hey, you two are chickens. Chickens. That's crazy.
Chickens.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, you know what? You got to protect your chickens, y'all.
Protect your chickens. Hey, name the player who said that, man. That's throwback from there for sure. But yeah, we're here. Andrew, it seemed like it was totally fine. I was watching it on YouTube. It seemed like his stream was perfectly fine. I don't know if he just got booted out or something like that.
Yeah, something's going on with him. So he just said, you know what? He just dipped out. So yeah, he's having some connection issues with his internet right now. So yeah, so he just said, all right, well,
that's it. So we'll just go 2 bros, 2 jackets.
2 bros, 1 podcast. Let's go.
2 bros, 1 podcast. Let's get it. But man, one thing just to talk about the bye week and everything too, man, it's a kind of a frustrating bye week in a way, because you would love if you went into this bye week feeling like you got to win over the Jags, but we just got an absolute shellacking from the Jags. And, that's a disappointing thing to kind of go into the bye week, because then you kind of have to like sit into that a little bit. And, funny thing about the football season in general, it's always your positivity about the team is so high after a win, and you feel very good about things most of the time, and you usually feel confident about the next week that, oh, you'll win the next game. When you have a loss, then you're like, I don't know about this team anymore. When you have an absolute slacking, you're like, okay, that was not a good thing to see at all by any means. Now, the one thing I will say about that too is that we've been pretty bad going to the East Coast, West Coast to the East Coast games. I mean, you think about the games like the Titans game was a little closer than it should have been. The Dolphins game was like a last minute type situation. The Giants game, we lost that one. And then obviously we lost the Jaguars too. So we just have not been very good going West Coast to East Coast. And that's kind of how it's been for the Chargers this season. And it's just frustrating to look at that.
Yeah, I was looking at that ahead of the Jags game. It's like, we've never been able to cover the spread for any of our East Coast games. And so that has been a problem for us as well, So like it just really, aside from that though, like all that, conspiracy theorist kind of stuff like that, I guess I'll put my tinfoil Bolt Bros hat on there. Which we should make those. We should make some tinfoil Bolt Bros.
That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good.
That'd be pretty great. But like the players, they just didn't show up. Nobody was motivated for that game at all. It seemed like, there's just something. I'm not superstitious, just a little stitious,
Just a little.
like
a little.
But to have the entire all three phases of the game, besides Cameron Dicker, just not even show up. It's like kind of like, what's going on here, guys? It just crazy.
It reminded me a little bit of that Patriots game, I think in 2020, where we got smoked like 45-0. And I think that was at SoFi too. And we just got absolutely smoked in that game. And it kind of made me feel like it was similar to where the team just kind of gave up. And I would think that was Anthony Lynn's last year with the team. And essentially that was the nail in the coffin with those guys. So, but yeah, Chris B 3892, that wasn't just a loss. That was, to quote Phillip Rivers, a good old-fashioned rear end whooping. And that's the way to look at it, man. It truly felt that way. And it was really, really frustrating to see that. But, to quote a head coach that is currently Jim Harbaugh, your most important game is the one in front of you at this point. And,
that's right.
What is that next game? Guess what? It's Raider week, boys. And, you love to basically see those Raider games and the team that is absolutely torpedoing right now as a franchise, I should say. And I'll even show a couple slides here on this too. And, we put this up, and I'm just going to throw this slide out here. We put this up on our channel not too long ago. And a real live photo of good old Pete Carroll on the field. I mean, he's
right.
Is that Pete Carroll? Yeah, it could be Pete Carroll.
Could be Pete Carroll. Maybe it's maybe that's Joe Biden. I don't know. Is it?
I mean, he's old.
I can't tell.
He's old.
Actually, that gives me a good idea for a meme. Actually, I'll get that one cooked up in a minute here. After the show,
after the show, I love it. But it's the Raiders as a team. It's been very, very just old. Doesn't seem like they're moving very well. Not a well-oiled machine. Geno Smith is a bad experiment over there too. It's just in general, the Raiders have just been an absolute mess as a franchise. And some people even said, when we posted this, they were like, well, at least they scored more points than us. Well, who cares? The records say 7-4 versus 2 and what are they, 9? I don't know what they're at right now at this point, but it's not good for them. They're not doing well by any means.
Hey, James, let me tell you something. The Raiders team right now is, I think we're 2-8 right now. It's I mean, we just need to catch our focus back. And Geno Smith he can do some stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of things we can do. Maybe I can get him some ice cream or something like that, and help him out a little bit on lock.
I don't know. Chocolate chip, yeah.
Oh, chocolate, man. I love chocolate chip. You tell me that. It's like, look, let me tell you a little story about when I went to the Baskin Robbins the other day, and I got myself some Tutti Frutti. You know what I'm saying?
Man, listen up, Jack. That was great, man. That was great. We just had a special guest pop in, man. That was great. Yeah, dude, it was that was perfect. Oh man, but yeah, it's a mess with him, man, over there, and old Pete Carroll there. He's trying to get through it here, but Ather did get another $4.99 chat. By the way,
$5 holla. There you
yeah,
go.
let's go, man. So remove Pittsburgh, but put Baltimore and give me the Ravens in Baltimore. Not afraid, and James is not afraid. Kyle and Andrew are scared of Baltimore, dude. What are your thoughts, Kyle, on that? I feel good about it. I feel good about it.
Why would we be scared of Baltimore, man? They've been struggling so hard this whole year. Like I think they're 5-5 right now.
Yep.
You know, something like that. And I mean, honestly, look, I mean, the Ravens could, have a good deep run as well at the end here. I would not doubt it, but I'm not too worried about the Ravens at this point. They're motivated, of course, to win, like everyone is and stuff. But I don't feel like the playoffs are kind of that blood is not in the water for them right now. So I'm not worried about the Ravens. Come on now.
Well, it's interesting just to think about the next 3 games for the Ravens. The Ravens are playing the Jets this weekend. Obviously the Jets are the Jets. They do got a 2 game. They've won 2 games out of the last 3, I believe. Then following that, they have the Thursday or the Thanksgiving game against the Bengals, which could be the return of Joe Burrow. So that's going to be a big game. And then after that, there's another interdivision type game with the Steelers at the Ravens. So, things could shift quite a bit in that division within a 3-game span, or almost basically a 2-week span-ish kind of thing, of having a very quick turnaround in that division. So it's interesting. I mean, I feel pretty good about going against the Ravens. I think it would be great. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Still 6 games ahead. At this point. So we'll get it. We'll get it rocking and see where it goes. So one more hit on the Raiders, just because it's an FTR situation right now. Family, trust, and respect, dude.
Oof.
Look at how bad the franchise has been, and it's crazy. And I'll dig a little bit deeper in this one too. Winning seasons by the Raiders since 2003. Excuse me. They've had two winning seasons, and they are currently 2-7. And I thought it was 2-9. Maybe I'm already predicting ahead. I guess 2-7 at this point. I mean, Raiders as a franchise has been a mess, and they just cannot get that team right. And think about head coaches that, in my opinion, taken advantage of the Raiders signing these contracts that are guaranteed. And they're still paying for 2 head coaches right now, which is McDaniels and also Gruden at this point, plus another one that they currently have right now too with Pete Carroll. It's not a good franchise by any means. And I think it was shot out to our boy that does like interviews basically out there too. Chargers. Oh my gosh, why is my brain just pooping out on me here? Anyways, some interviews with some guys that were like a Raider fan. He was talking about, he's like, I've only seen 1 winning season since I've been a Raider fan, basically. And, that's like kind of a wild thing to think about, that he's only saw basically just losing seasons at this point. And dude, I don't understand how you can be a fan when it's like constantly you're just in a loss. You're always in a loss.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you were born after 2002, then you only seen 2 winning seasons.
Pretty bad.
And that means you're now 22 years old, 23 years old, or something like that.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah. So it's
that's actually
your entire life.
Shout out to Charger Takes, who did that interview, and it was actually at a game. The guy wasn't even wearing any Raiders gear, but he was at a Chargers game for some weird reason, and it was super weird. But that's the thing. Like, some of these guys have never seen a winning season, or basically 1 winning season potentially as being a Raider fan, which is kind of wild to think about. So in contrast, you think about a lot of the guys that have been Patriots fans. I mean, there was 2 decades of basically just dominance, which is incredible to see. And for a, generation that thinks all they do is win every single year and go to the Super Bowl, now they're finally getting back to that point where they potentially could get a good franchise going on right now with the right head coach for once. So just one quick little shot about the Raiders. Teams with the most losses by 17 plus points since Mark Davis took over the Raiders in 2021. So this is how many games they've lost by 17 plus points. Jets 56, Jaguars 53. We can't say much about the Jaguars because we just got smoked. Raiders 50. They've had 50. Raiders had 50 losses by 17 plus points in Al Davis's first 41 years with the team. So since 2011, they've had 50 of those 17+ point losses to where Al Davis only had 50 losses of 17+ points in 41 years. Big difference. Big difference. So
that's terrible.
That's simple as that. Simple as that. It is terrible, terrible, terrible. So bad to see, man. But obviously we love to be able to put out a little bit of hate out there about the Raiders and such too. So
yeah.
But Kyle, you want to do quick picks right now? We might as well knock that out while we're here, and then we'll kind of get rolling a little bit more into the slides here too.
Yeah. Okay, well, give me a sec.
And let me take a quick sip of my cup here.
Sippy cup
with my James Rose cup.
Hang on a sec. I gotta make myself bigger here. Hang on.
Tastes great, guys. Tastes great.
There you go.
Woo,
there you go.
Here we go.
Nope.
Other way. There.
Yep.
Whoop,
that's
there
the
go.
best. That's the best way. That's the best way. All right, guys. Okay, so that hang on a sec. Oop, not that here. This one. This is the one for the week here for me. I just picked some of these top picks right now. So there is a multiplier boost for Drake May this week to get over or more than 251.5 passing yards. So I thought that was pretty decent. Like, that's a good one. That's Drake May he's like, one of the MVP candidates this year, so like, I'll take it. Nick Folk to get 2 field goals made, not extra points.
Okay.
They got to be field goals. So I think, I can make that. So I need him to get 2. Sterling Shepard there, I need him to get 18 point or more than 18.5 yards, and as a Jordan Mason to get more than 23.5 yards. I think it's pretty good right now. I think it's pretty good.
It's good setup.
But I think it's a good setup, and that's a 13x right there. So
love it.
We're going for the moon, baby. Straight to the moon.
Straight to the moon, baby. No, that's great. That seems like a pretty good little setup there too. And and this is a great time to jump on Sleeper, by the way. And remember, you guys do get 100% match up to $100 when you use code Bolt Bros. So it's really good. It's just over and under type picks, and it's great to see how it all pans out. And you can make some sweet extra moolah in your pocket when you throw in some money on Sleeper, dude. So great stuff, man.
Right.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, man. And Chief, man, thank you so much, man. And Chief R. Rabble, I think is how it is. Chief J. Rabble, I believe. Great work on the AFC West Roundtable, James, man. Yeah, thank you, man. Andrew and I have been just kind of rotating back and forth on that. We love being on that show. And, it's kind of fun to see how some of these personalities are very, very, excited about things. And they're very, very, some of them are very honest with themselves with Samoan Raider over there too. So I think it's a very fun show to be on, but thank you so much and appreciate you checking that out. Every Tuesday we'll be on the show for the rest of the season. I think it ends in February basically too. So for us, but
it's tough. It's tough being on that one and basically having to make excuses for the Chargers, like difficult losses against essentially 4 other people that don't like the Chargers. You're like,
you
gotta just
you're essentially in the lion's den at that point. Now it's funny because like the thing about being on that show is that you feel a little bit, I think they always kind of view the Chargers as like the little brother of the division. And it's like, you guys haven't grown up to get to the Super Bowl or you haven't figured things out. So I always kind of feel like they always look at the Chargers as like the little brother. And like going back to earlier in the season when we beat the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Broncos, I feel like what little brother finally did was pop them right in the face and gave them a nice shot to the face and say, hey, look, man, we ain't taking it anymore. All right. So like, I felt like that was kind of a big thing for the Chargers.
So what you're saying is that you're treating me that way because I'm the little brother on the show. So
that's right, dude.
Y'all just pushing me around. So next time I see you, I'm gonna have to give you a swift chop to the face, huh?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Hey, I'm second to last. I'm second to last. I'm second to last. So I'm the middle. It's time to tenderize that meat, dude.
I'm coming, bro.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Yeah. So, but thank you for tuning in on the Roundtable chat. It's definitely El Choro Chris. I think is how you say it. I don't know.
See, here's the problem.
The chat is
YouTube's
a little
even
bit
having a
wild
problem.
with that show.
The YouTube's even having a problem right now too, because we're seeing their names, not their actual nicknames that they designated. So I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah,
Nothing's working
kind
out.
of strange. It's bye week is kind of throwing everything off these days. But let's
Mhm.
keep the show
Yep.
rolling while we're here. But
Let's go.
Nick Wright, check this little clown show right here. And Nick Wright, I always feel like when he talks about like football, he's that guy. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you can even see the clown there.
Yep.
He definitely likes to say a lot of things for like shock factor, more or less. And for him, and it's not saying like going into the season or anything like that. It's not unreasonable to think the Chiefs won't win the division. I mean, it's kind of a little unconventional what's happening with the Chiefs right now. This has been a long time coming at this point. Every team has its franchise moment, and then they have a demise or a downfall at that point. And I don't know if this is truly the downfall. And you know what? Chiefs are one of those teams that could potentially find its way back into the division either which way, or at least the playoffs. They're still in the running. But to put the Raiders as the second team in the division, I mean, that is pretty bad to look at. And then the Chargers being at 3, and then the Broncos being at 4. It's not too unreasonable going into the season, but I definitely did not ever think the Chargers would be a third place team in this division by any means.
Yeah.
It's more shocking that the Broncos have done what they've been able to do, and they've been doing it with a bad offense too. It's really, they're basing a lot on defense.
I don't really think it's too much of a shocker for me. I mean, because they were last year, they were in third in the division.
Yep.
So they're facing off against other third in the division teams. And their strength of schedule is actually like really soft. So I think their strength of schedule compared to ours was like, they're like 0.45 or something like that. And we were like maybe like 0.51 or something.
Yep.
So we have a harder schedule, and we're doing better than than we did last year for sure. So
totally.
So in that regards, it's not too much of a shocker for me that the Broncos are beating bad teams. Can't say that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, offensively they're bad, defensively they're great, and the thing is though, like even to say the last game against the Chiefs, and once again, shout out to the Broncos. I'll give them the respect. They finally found a way to beat Patrick Mahomes, and if we had a chance, Chargers, Raiders, or I wouldn't even let me pull that back. I am not saying the Raiders are going to win the division anytime soon. Chargers and Broncos, we got to beat the Chiefs. And that's the thing. The Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, everybody in the division has not done their job to try to beat the Chiefs and to be able to find a way to take away the division. Let's say the Chiefs go 6-0 in the division every single year. I mean, that's 6 wins. They just only got to probably win 5 more games from that point to basically win the division. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it really required the Chargers and the Broncos to find a way to beat them. So that's what shifted the division, in my opinion, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But, hey, let's keep it rolling, man. And, we have another division game coming up next weekend against the Raiders at SoFi. The Raiders have not won a game in SoFi since the Chargers have been there. So that's a pretty big thing for us. And I think we have a good chance to sweep the Raiders this year too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that could be a really good game. So, and shout out to Miguel for choosing that game to go to, for the grand prize that he won last year. So it's pretty awesome. It's going to be his first game in SoFi Stadium, coming from San Diego. That'll be freaking awesome. And I think he said he's going to bring Eddie with him to kind of be his bodyguard as well. So, because we know Eddie is one of the resident tough guy. Got his ribs broken by some dude. He got like his teeth knocked out. He's getting in bar fights all the time. So
love it.
Love it. I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea for Miguel to bring him, especially to Raiders week. So if nothing else, Miguel, I think you should pick some fights specifically so Eddie can get in some, get some rage out.
I will say right now though, the Raiders fans are probably pretty tame. I mean, this is at the point of the season where they're pretty much done and toast. Now they will still talk smack. They will still get a little drunk and disorderly at some point too. But outside of that, though, this would be a pretty tame game for them. I mean, what was the last Raider game that we went to? Was like a home opener. And, that's always kind of like that contentious type situation. You're both 0-0. You're starting out the season. And then, ultimately the Chargers basically beat the Raiders too again. So, so either way, we'll see a couple weeks from now. But just moving on to the other slides here, guys. So I don't know if you guys watched this podcast with Matt Money Smith and Lorenzo Neal on the Believe Network.
That's a good one, man. I love listening to Matt Money Smith. All the time. He's got great insight. Yeah,
and I mean he's there. I mean he's the voice of the Chargers. Like he's a part of that group, and so he's very, very engrossed into the whole entire like team and everything too. And what he sees, I love listening to it. But the one thing I was going to point out about this whole video that I loved what Lorenzo Neal said. He said, "Hey, look, you understand this team is 7-4, and mind you, everybody kind of panics after a loss. That's just what happens.
Yeah,
everybody panics and." I've always looked at it like if you lose by 30 or you lose by 1, it still becomes an L at that point. Like it doesn't really matter. It's about what is the most important game is the one in front of you. The next game is the most important game. You can't do anything about the past and change the past at this point.
Nope.
Let's move on and let's go ahead and just focus on the next game. And that's against the Raiders. And one thing I love that Lorenzo Neal said, he said, hey, look, you understand this team is at 7-4. They're in a position to get to the playoffs. They're in a position to potentially even get the division if Broncos do slip up, which I do think they will at some point. And the amount of injuries this team has had is unbelievable to the amount of O-line injuries, not even Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, and then the constant rotation of players all throughout this O-line too, losing Najee Harris, having Omarion Hampton at back or out and potentially have him back for the Raiders game, to all these players and everything that have gone out of this team through injuries. A lot of teams would find a way to fold on the season. And the Chargers have not done that. And that's a very, very big shout out to Jim Harbaugh and the staff there to keep the ship afloat, hold the door per se, and don't let the floodgates just open at that point. And I think that is a very, very great point to throw out there. And I think I've said it a few times too, but I love the way that Lorenzo Neal basically talked about it. A player that is actually in Hall of Fame contention. He should probably be a Hall of Fame. In my opinion, he's an absolute stellar fullback. And just thought it was a great point from that show.
Yeah. And that's the reality too, is that like, I mean, I understand a loss like that is very frustrating to see, but even if it's, 1 point loss or if it's a 30-point loss, it's still just a loss,
Just a loss.
It does actually at the same side though. It does kind of matter for rankings, and playoff positions for points for, points against, right?
Yeah.
Like so, but that's about it. Like, I mean, win and loss is still the same thing. If it's 30 points or 1 point, but that's the truth. That, like, I mentioned it on Wednesday as well. It's like people tend to attack each other when like in the fandom, whatever like that, when we start losing, because everyone in the fandom are frustrated and they want to get their energy out or whatever like that. So we just can't do that. We can't start like cannibalizing ourselves and blaming each other for a loss.
I agree.
Like the season ain't over,
Nope.
I mean, like I get it. A lot of people are mad because we lost both our left and right tackles and thinking, okay, our season's pretty much done because we can't protect Herbert. But like you saw in that other slide or about Andrew Luck and versus comparison to
that's coming up. That's coming up.
It's coming up. Okay, sorry. I was just thinking pre-show, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
But look, unless Justin Herbert has a season-ending injury, we're still in this, baby. Still in this.
Still in it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's about it. Like, if you just have Justin Herbert out there, and let me just go ahead and just go to that slide that you're talking about here too.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it's about being Justin Herbert and allowing Justin Herbert to be Justin Herbert. If he's injured, obviously I don't even want to talk about that personally. I should probably not even talk about it. But basically, he's doing this where he's still top in the league in passing yards. He's still top in the league in a lot of different categories too, with a terrible O-line. Now, looking at this, I mean, Justin Herbert's been sacked 213 times in 90 NFL games, which is absolutely a record. It's got to be some sort of record at this point. Andrew Luck, who retired after 6 seasons, was sacked 185 times in 86 games. Now, I will say the difference between Luck and Herbert. Luck went through a lot of different injuries too throughout that time. Justin Herbert's been a very, very stable quarterback in the sense of the injuries. Yes, he's had some ankle injuries. He had some rib situation. He had a finger situation too. But outside of that, it's not like catastrophic type injuries. Like it's little bumps and bruises at that point. So Justin Herbert has really showed that he could basically take a team on his back and make the best out of it. And goodness gracious, if the NFL ever allowed Justin Herbert to have a fully healthy O-line, it's going to be lights out with Justin Herbert. And he is doing this with, I believe it's now ranked as like a 32nd ranked offensive line. And by the way, the Raiders have a pretty bad O-line that's ranked too. I think it's 30th, I believe, in the league too.
Yeah.
So this next game is going to be an interesting one. I kind of also will say those rankings, I think, are a little bit skewed in my opinion about how bad the O-line is. Yes, it's very, very like terrible on the edges. The interior is not very good and everything too. I do think that Justin Herbert just needs to get the ball out of his hands a little bit sooner. I think that will help benefit the O-line a little bit on the ranking side of things. I felt like in that last Jacksonville game, he was very much holding the ball quite a bit too. He was not being very assertive with his decision-making and everything too. I think he was more concerned about making a mistake than to basically just make a play kind of thing. And that was really disappointing to look at. But either way, Justin Herbert's been playing through a bad O-line. Now, I'm just going to throw something out real quick on, PFF, if you like them or not. Let me just kind of give you the best ranked PFF players on offense, and then I'll give you the worst ranked players on offense for this team so far this season. Justin Herbert's at 85.7. He's our top player on offense. Keenan Allen, 79.8. Joe Alt, 79 flat, which, man, I wish we had Joe Alt still there. Kamani Vidal, though, 73.5. That's very, very high, much higher than I thought. I was thinking Ladd McConkey would have been in there, or maybe Oronde Gadsden or something like that. And then Omarion Hampton's at 73 flat, too. Crazy to think about that. Think about the Kamani Vidal and the Omarion Hampton combo of 1-2. That's pretty good to basically take a guy that has been injured out for a bit. You got, obviously, Najee Harris went out this season, too, which sucks to see. But you got a guy, Kamani Vidal, which is, we'll talk about some of that here in a little bit about Joe Hortiz and his draft picks that he's done. That's a gem to basically find another guy late rounds that has actually really done a great job and actually has grown better as a blocker too.
Right.
And then if I look at the worst offensive players, Austin Decklis, 36.7. Yikes. That's why you go out there and get a Trevor Penning. Yeah, you got to get somebody better than that, because that is really bad.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, we looked at the Madden ratings. See, like I said, I'm going off of Madden ratings for now on. I don't care about PFF, So yeah, Deculus was I think he's like a 68, and then Penning was like maybe a 72. So it's really not a big like swing, But still, I mean,
gotta make a choice of trying to get something better, and that's the thing.
At the same side, it's like, look, I mean, people can talk about how, like, okay, the offensive, let's say this. Let's not call a duck a goose here, but the offensive line is very important. But at the end of the day, Justin Herbert needs to throw the ball faster,
Agreed.
He just needs to okay, 3 seconds, throw it out. If he has nothing after 3 seconds, throw it over somebody's head off to the sideline. That's it, That's it. Or maybe if he feels like he has an opening, run for like a couple yards, get something like that, absolutely fine. Or if we need to, we need to have a dump man again, like Eckler was for a long time,
And that's where I think Omarion Hampton's going to be a big, big difference for this team. Because if you go back and watch those games, he's going to be that dump off man right in the flat for him. And he was doing great with that too. Now, if I'm just going to go further about PFF, and I'm just going to say this because it's a ranking that is known throughout the NFL of how to rank a player. Still going on the worst players, obviously Austin Decklis at 36.7, Mekhi Becton at 40.5, Tucker Fisk at 47.3, Bradley Bozeman at 47.6, 47.6, and Trey Pipkins at 49.7. So you basically have 4 offensive linemen as the part of the bottom 5 of this team, and they're all sub 50 at that point.
Yeah.
Even to say Decklis being at a sub 40 in his ranking. Justin Herbert's doing this with a terrible O-line. And
Right.
One thing that is basically the big win for Justin Herbert is that we have offensive playmakers, wide receivers, tight ends that have some of the highest level of separations per route. So yards per separation or separation yards per route. They have one of the highest. So good thing he's got great wide receivers and great options to throw to because they're getting great separation to allow Justin Herbert to cook. He needs to capitalize more on that. He needs to make sure he is jumping on that. Whatever was happening in that Jaguar game, he was sitting there just like deciding not to make a decision. I don't think the Jaguars' backfield was as good on their defense side of things. For whatever reason, there was a lot of hesitation to throw the ball, and it was really frustrating to watch that for sure. And yes, it is a lot of trash rankings, what we're hearing with this O-line. And that's a big miss for this team, man.
Right.
I mean, if you had Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, it could be a world of difference. Simple as that.
No, I mean, 100%. I'm not saying that it would not be. It's not going to make a difference if we did have them there. Like, I mean, 100%. If we had Alt and I need to get my cup here. You know, you keep drinking out of your cup. Hang on a second.
That's right, man. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I got some dirt in it though, so I guess
that's not good. Don't drink out of that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Extra fiber. So, but yeah, like if they were there 100%, it would make a huge difference on that edge, and being able to run around the side or protecting Herbert and all that stuff, But hey, at the end of the day, every single player on the team has to do their job, and it's up to Justin Herbert to do his job better. He has to step up and do more and do better himself in order to kind of keep this thing going too, So it's not, look, it's a team. You win and lose as a team, and to blame specifically the O-line for not doing their job well enough is unfair to the O-line, and it's unfair to show for Justin Herbert's efforts and Keenan Allen's efforts and Lad McConkey's efforts. And then, so that's it.
Yep. Absolutely, man. I mean, I think we got plenty of weapons at this point for this team. What's crazy to look at right now is AI has basically told me for the 2025 NFL season, prominent wide receivers like Trey Harris have exceptionally high yards per route run at 5.15. So he's actually one of the top performers, yards per route run type situation. And once again, that was a guy that we got in second round too. So it is one of those things that we have guys out there, Lad McConkey, Keenan Allen, Trey Harris being a guy that could get separation in his routes. Oronde Gadsden has been doing a phenomenal job for us. We just got to get the ball to those guys quicker. And that's the whole thing too. If we go with those jumbo set type situations, ultimately that helps out a little bit, which is basically shoring up the O-line, more bodies on the line and everything too, but it also gives you less options to work with. But learn how to be better with having less people on the field to allow people to be open and make throws a little bit easier. And bottom line, protect Justin Herbert more. I mean, he cannot keep taking these hits.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating 100%. To watch that, man. Frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Here's a big question from Eddie real quick. Is this offensive line worse than our year in 2020?
And I mean that Justin Herbert, what he had that was his rookie of the year season 2.
Yeah.
He basically
threw for like over 5,000 yards.
I think that year. was that 5,000 yards? I think it was actually less than that for that one, but I'm just pulling it up right now. So he was 4,336 yards the following year in 2021. That was this 5,000 yard season. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but yeah, it wasn't a pretty line back then. I could definitely say this is probably one of the worst O-lines, in my opinion. Sam Tevi's not on the O-line anymore. That's good. But then at the same side, we got guys out there that we have guys that are actually pretty dang good. Like to me, Bobby Hart is one of those guys that I think has been a phenomenal pickup for us. And personally, I would still like to see him at right tackle. I think there was a question earlier in the chat talking about, who do you want to have at left tackle? Jamari Sawyer's potentially going to be that guy for left tackle too. My opinion about Trevor Penning, put him in. He should be more of a guard, in my opinion. He actually, I think, looks better as a left guard. Now, obviously, Zion Johnson has been a little bit better, or at least that stable to the left guard position. And Bradley Bozeman's basically been the center. So Personally, my opinion, I think he's better. And to put him at tackle and expect to have huge results, it's been a very long time since he's played tackle. That's kind of a big thing for this team. So personally, I think you got to find a way to get Bobby Hart on the field at some level. Trey Pipkins, maybe on the left tackle side of things, which I want to say he might have played left tackle before, or Jamari Salyer on the left tackle too. So we'll see where it goes. But that's the thing that is great about the bye week. You can get this offensive line potentially in the right direction, get the right configuration of people on that line, and get it working from there. So,
100%.
Moving on to the other subject here. My guy, Joe Hortiz. We met him at Thunder Alley. He was just walking through, having a good time, took a photo with him, chatted with him for a little bit.
That's awesome.
Man, and look, some people have been giving him a lot of heat, and like, I get it. Like, you think about the offseason, really attack the interior O-line. I get it. When you look on paper, when you basically picked up the big guy, Mekhi Becton, as a right guard, you're like, okay. Like, we got a guy that was a tackle, a guy that's played on a Super Bowl winning team, a right guard that you could plug and play with this team. And then you think, okay, hey, we got we got Rashawn Slater, we got Joe Alt. Like, okay, we're looking great. And then contrast to that, then you're like, all right, then you go with center with Bradley Bozeman. And like, we knew what he was last season. We ended up last season where we ended up having a bad situation with the interior O-line versus the Texans, and that ultimately ended our season. But you kind of really didn't do enough to reinforce that. I mean, you could have gone out there and got a Drew Dahlman, and you could have had a great center for this team, and is playing extremely well for the Bears right now. You could have done that, and you didn't. You kind of went with the guy that was like your buddy, kind of in a sense, like, all right, Bradley, we like you. You're coming back in, kind of thing, and we're getting pretty bad results from that. And then you have an Andre James that's kind of sitting back there where you're like, all right, you could put him in there somewhere or another. He has played guard. He has played center. It could only get better from this point, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not been good. So,
I mean, like we've talked about that. Statistically, freaking Bozeman is bottom of the barrel when it comes to center. So statistically, it should only go up, from here. So it's like, well, I mean, I guess it could, if you have 39 of whatever centers, or 32 centers, and Bozeman's ranked at 32, then you put James in there, then technically he could be ranked 33 at that point, But I mean, when you're doing the Price is Right, and you have the higher and lower card thing game, and you got a 2, if you're gonna pick lower, you're an idiot, So
absolutely, It is a weird thing, man, for that. But everybody's talking about draft for centers. There are a fair amount of centers out there. I was looking in just at, I'm not looking too heavily into the draft at this point, but there is a lot of centers out there that are kind of slated to be second round picks. Now, obviously, that's what the whole thing about the combine, to get somebody's name a little bit more hotter and better, and system fits and all these different things, to get their hands on a little bit more on players. That's what the combine's all about in February. But, that is going to be a focus, right? That is going to be a focus, man. And Eddie, you're talking about the O-line in 2020, Sam Tevy, Dan Freeney, Forrest Lamp, Trey Turner, Brian Bulaga. Oh my gosh, that's a signing that was terrible too. It was just, man, that was a tough line. But the thing is about this O-line is that Justin Herbert's still able to make it happen. He's still able to go out there. You're still a 7-4 team. Could have been a better team if you had a better O-line. And the way that I viewed it after this season, and I don't really want to dig too deep into the offseason, but the way this team is built right now, and the tip of the spear is the O-line, right? And you got 6 picks going into the draft, I believe, at this point. You have $111 million. You best believe, if you look at all the positions throughout this team and where the needs are, it is O-line. It is D-line, in my opinion, too. Those are going to be the focus areas, and that's where they're going to probably spend most of the money, in my opinion. They're going to really go after a lot of O-line. They're going to go after a lot of D-line.
I like that. And I just looked it up real quick too. Like, currently the top ranked center in the 2026 draft is, what I put in the chat there, is Jake Slaughter. Actually, that's a dope
Love the name. Love the name.
It's a dope name. Yeah, we need a Slaughter in the center,
I'll take it all day.
We'll take it, out of Florida. It's like, yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I mean, if he'd be available, sure, why not? He doesn't look like a slaughter guy though. He's got glasses and a terrible goatees and like him.
You better have a mullet, man, or wrestle some alligators out in Florida or something,
we need,
man.
Dude. Yeah, you know what? And wait, isn't it? Oh no, I was thinking Jake the Snake Slaughter, but it's like no, it's not. Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter. It's like it's mixing Jake the Snake and Sergeant Slaughter together. That didn't quite work. Yeah. But yeah, so that'd be good. If I don't know, like I said, we just need a center, man. Like go out there and get somebody.
And just last thoughts a little bit about the center side of things. Somebody put out an idea of what the Ravens and the Chargers kind of have looked at centers, and in the RAS rankings, relatively, or was it reliability athletic scores? Is it relatively athletic score, the RAS scores or whatever? For some reason, I can't think of the name of it, but once I get into my draft mind, I'll remember it. But basically the metrics of that player line up with Zion Johnson, which is crazy to think about. So think about what they did in this offseason, right? The talks were like, oh, we're going to get Zion Johnson to try out, center. He did play center in preseason too. Obviously they didn't do an extension with him or give him his 5th-year option too. So he's a free agent after this year. But what if they're actually just going to bring back Zion Johnson and just make him a center? My opinion, you probably could just made him a center this year, and you probably could have maybe even a little bit better results than what you're getting from Bradley Bozeman at this point. It's an interesting thing because Greg Roman's like, Bradley Bozeman's doing what he needs to do. But at the same side, like, what is he really doing? That's the thing. Other than staying healthy, that's pretty much it at that point. So it's just a very interesting situation there. But I'm going to just kind of revert a little bit about Joe Hortiz because everybody's jumping on what he has not done signing-wise or anything like that so far. Like they feel like he has not done a lot. Go back to those Tom Telesco days. He did not do many trades by any means. We've had 2 trades to get players this year with Adafe Owe and then also Trevor Penning. You went out there and made those things happen. He basically has trying to do what he can and with whatever resources he has available. Mid-season, you're not going to get a top-tier O-lineman by any means. He's trying his best to get something done too. And even to say with that Trevor Penning pick, if it doesn't work out, it's a pick from like 2 seasons from now. It's like not a problem at this point. So he's doing a great job in my opinion. And just to kind of give a little bit more reiteration of like what he's done. This is what some of the players that he picked last season. So Henneke didn't work out. Naquan Jones has done well for us. Deshaun Hand did well for us. Mike Williams decided to retire before, but what happened from there? We ended up getting Keenan Allen, who's done well for us. And we'll talk more about that here shortly. Benjamin St. Juste, he's one of our top one of our top defensive graded players. He is actually ranked at 75.6, which is our second best defensive player at this point. Denzel Perryman, who is obviously a thumper, and he's a guy that you love to have out there that could just hit people. Troy Dye, who's I think a player that's getting even better, and he's doing actually really good against the run too and growing more as a player. Jalen Reagor is the one that's kind of the weird one where I'm like, I don't know why he keeps coming back and forth with this team, but the coaches seem to love the guy. Najee Harris could have been a phenomenal pickup for us. Sucks that he got injured because I think his wheels were just rolling with this team, and then he had that blowout of his Achilles. Tier Tart was a guy that we signed last season, and we re-signed him again this year. I love Tier Tart. He brings a nastiness and actually is our top and best defensive player based upon PFF at 79.3. And then, Bradley Bozeman, just talked heavily about that. Not going to talk more about that by any means. But Dante Jackson is our fourth best defensive player at 73.1. Then you got J.K. Scott, who's been great for us too. And then Khalil Mack, obviously having him re-signed to another 1 year, which is our fifth best player on defense, 70.4. Now, I get it. Somebody's got to be the best of one side of the defense and everything too. But he has made a lot of really good signings that have really helped out this defense. And really what's going to really propel this team is through defense. If this defense could be just that defense that we saw, say, earlier in the year, the 3-0 type defense, and the hope is the reset of the bye week allows people to get their mind right. This defense could really carry this team in a long way. Like, think about how, like, the Broncos are set up. They're a very good defense, but their offense is just not going well for them by any means.
Yeah.
And they're late in the season to where we know we can put up points and we can have a defense that can shut teams out. And so,
Right.
bottom line, Joe Hortiz has done a pretty good job of signings, by the way, too. So back off my boy. Back off my boy.
I mean, yes and no, because look, let's be perfectly honest. Like he did really good with the signings, but we still needed more done with the offensive line before the season started.
Agreed.
That's the only thing, you know. I mean, you know, they re-signing Bradley Bozeman was probably the biggest flop here, you know. Like, I mean, I hope they probably did go out. Let's just not, you know, kind of say that he didn't put an effort out there, you know, for a center. You know, once he found out that he could not get a center, he said, okay, we have to re-sign Bozeman itself, you know. I guarantee that's what would happen, you know. So it's like, well, this is what they got, and so they got to work with what they got. That has to have been the situation, you know.
Yeah. And I really wonder if there was a conversation about trying to get Drew Dahlman to the team, because I mean, he was one of the top centers. And when I looked at free agency, that was the first guy I was like, you better get that guy. And he ended up signing with the Bears, which I don't know if there's a connection with the Bears that he really liked or whatnot too. But that was a guy that I was like, you better put money in that guy's pockets quick. And you better go out there and get that guy, because that would have been a huge, tremendous increase to this O-line. Like, the way that I've always looked at an O-line is think about like an arch. You know, you got that center point there too. That's that cornerstone piece. If you don't have that cornerstone piece, the whole thing crumbles at that point. And I mean, just think of if we had a Drew Dahlman at center with basically, you know, obviously, to think down the road, obviously, you know, things have happened with basically Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, but that O-line would have been ridiculous. That would have been a ridiculous O-line to work with. So, but yeah, it's tough to look at. But I mean, if you go and take a step further on this too, obviously the Mekhi Becton signing was we were excited about it. I mean, a guy that just won a Super Bowl, a guy that's a huge guy all around, could be just a dominating force in the inside, but he's been on the field maybe 50% of the time. And, you know, whatever reason it is, we got to make sure we get this guy out here and keep him out there, because the consistency at that right guard needs to happen for this team. And it seems to help out a little bit, but the consistency on the right tackle is not helping. And the inconsistency on the center is not helping either. When everybody's basically not doing their jobs well, the O-line just looks like a complete disarray. And, you know, but Mekhi Becton was a big signing for this team too. But it just hasn't panned out as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I still think that one of the top players that we should be trying to go for, I mean, he's sitting out in the entire season though, because he has a lingering knee injury. So he wanted to kind of rest up a little bit more. Is that Browns offensive tackle, Jedrick Willis? You know? I mean, he's my number one target right now. So maybe we should be having a conversation with him for the 2026 season. I know for sure he doesn't want to stay with the Browns. I mean, unless they give him a briefcase full of gold or something like that, you know? Yeah. I mean, goodness gracious, you know? Like, I would say, like, you know what? I got a lingering knee injury. I got to sit out this, you know, if I knew I was still signed on the Browns.
Don't want to be there. Don't want to be there. And I mean, ultimately, that is the name that's kind of floated out there too. But yeah, he wants to stay, just get that knee right for next season. And that's a smart move. You know, sometimes you take a little break, get that thing right. And I mean, to be honest, most players that come off of a knee injury the next season, they're just really not 100%. It takes a little while to get that knee really, really in motion. So, but I will say Joe Hortiz has done a pretty fair job. Now, if you're batting 1,000, that's impossible to do, guys. And I think that everybody thinks that when you sign somebody, it's going to be just a home run hitter, Hall of Fame player. And that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the same side, he's trying what he can do with whatever resource he has. And meaning as in Trevor Penning signing, hey, you got to get something. And he just decided to go with a guy that's got a lot of experience. Guy hasn't panned out as well with the Saints, but we only had like $4 million to spend at that point. So you can't really go out there and get this huge name guy. And not many teams are going to let go any of these big name guys at this point. So it is what it is. And he's doing what he can with what he has provided to him. Think about Tom Telesco years. There were so many times that were just pulling people off the streets. It seemed like these are our guys and we're going to go with that and move on kind of thing.
Well,
Joe Hortiz is really doing something. At least he's trying.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and that's a great point here, you know, because, you know, Coupon Tom, you know, he his whole philosophy the entire time, which was, a big red flag for us instantly day one.
Yep.
He just wants to build through the draft. That's about it,
And his
And,
drafts never really went that well, by the way, too. And we'll talk about Joe
he had
Ortiz's
pretty
draft.
good. Right. He had he was pretty good with first round picks,
Yep.
Maybe he was probably like 50-50 on second round picks, but everything else was just whatever, just throw a dart on on a board and like, okay, pick up that guy,
Yep.
But he would never, ever throughout the season pick up somebody like in free agency, make some trades during the season or something like that, not once, so. And that's instantly because we have Joe Hortiz here. He's been doing that. He's been actively working throughout the entire season. He can't do it right now anymore. Trade deadline's over, but he can still pick up people on waivers and things like that. So, look, let's not call a duck a goose. Like I'm saying, like we've been saying here for a while, is that. But yeah, Joe Hortiz has been doing a good job, and we gotta praise him for that. So and like you're saying. He's been doing exactly what he can with what he got.
Yep, exactly. And there's even another side to it too and I haven't confirmed it, but I think Joe Ortiz has made more trades for players than all time throughout Tom Telesco's, tenure with the Chargers. So he's out there trying to make moves, and he's done it in the draft. He's done it throughout the season. He's done it before season. Like he's done it in multiple different ways, way more than Tom Telesco ever did too. And you got to like that there's a GM that's actually being aggressive for once. And instead of a guy that just sits on his hands and just kind of moves on from there. Now, if you go and look at like one of the bigger signings the Chargers did make, and it was the kind of one that was a little bit forced, but I think it should have happened, was Keenan Allen. And gotta love having our guy back. Like Keenan Allen is a Charger. He is basically exactly in Hugo Boss 760. Keenan Allen was our best third-round pick from Telesco. And I want to say that there was only 3 players from Tom Telesco's drafts after the first round that were first round or that ended up going to the Pro Bowl. And I want to say it was obviously Keenan Allen. I want to say Denzel Perryman was one of those. And I can't remember what the third one was, but his after first round success was so bad. And to this point about Keenan Allen, bringing him back late in the season and what he's been able to do, become the Chargers all-time record holder in catches. I mean, it is phenomenal to see. And it's great to have basically Keenan Allen here. In my opinion, you should bring him back next season. He's a great vet to this 100%. Whole young wide receiver group. Yes, we invested 2 draft picks in wide receivers, but at the same side, Keenan Allen's just an absolute stable for us. And you got to keep him at this team for sure.
Right. No, 100%. Like, yeah, Keenan Allen is a staple for LA. He loves LA. This is his home. He wants to stay there, as long as he possibly can. And we can get like plenty more years out of him. I mean, how long did Larry Fitzgerald play till like 50 something years old?
Yeah. Old Larry out there. Just one more year, Larry. Just one more year, Larry.
Yeah. So and we could, he could be out there a little bit longer, but it's entirely up to him, man.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I do think with Keenan Allen, I think he'd be okay to be that vet guy that could really help kind of guide the young guys. I mean, going into next season, his birthday's in April, so he'll be 34 next season. I think we could be fine to basically take him in there and give him, another year. Why not? Like, I think Keenan Allen has been a great wide receiver for us. Third in Keenan's all day. He's actually, and I actually did bring up a stat about this too.
I think we had that one in we posted it, right? That
here it is right here.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up, put it in the slides real quick. Yeah.
I don't actually have it in the slides. I'll just talk about it here.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Yeah.
So Keenan Allen, a third down this year, and how he ranks in the NFL: 22 receptions, first in the league; 35 targets, first in the league; 20 first downs, first in the league; 259 yards on second in the league. This guy's third in Keenan still at this age. Like, that has been a great pickup for us and a great pivot from Mike Williams to go to Keenan Allen. And personally, I thought it was going to be both of them coming back, but bottom line, great pickup by Joe Ortiz and a good pivot to go to another player. So look, man, he's done a great job. And if you just move on a little bit more to talk about drafts that he's gone through, the 2025 draft, think about what he's got out of this. Excuse me. This is the 2024 draft here. His first draft. What does he do? Get Joe Alt, absolute stud, a guy that could be an absolute monumental. Well, I wouldn't say the monumental, but a guy that basically could be an all-pro type player for you guys.
Sure.
Left tackle, right tackle, wherever you want to put him on that side. Sucks that he got out and everything too. Sucks to see that happen. But Ladd McConkey, you traded up to the Patriots to go out and get a Ladd McConkey. Absolute home run pick for you too. Junior Colson, we'll see. That guy just needs to stay healthy, but maybe next year, year 3 might be his year to get him back out there. Justin Aboigbe was a guy that was a redshirt freshman essentially with us. Has made some good plays this year and actually has had some pretty good games all around for us. Tarheeb Still, starting corner. Cam Hart, starting corner. Kamani Vidal was a guy late in the draft that obviously has been one of our top offensive linemen or top offensive playmakers through the PFF rankings of things. Great to see. Brendan Rice, Cornelius Johnson. Okay, cool. You can't hit them all, but you understand what we did. You hit basically on, what is that, 6 players out of your draft? Like,
right.
That is an absolute home run draft right there.
Oh,
absolute home run draft.
I think it was 6 when we had 10 picks or 9 picks that year. Like
something like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Traded up. Kind of just did some shifts of some picks and
right.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, home run draft there, guys.
Absolutely.
Absolute home run. And you do not see those type of drafts with Tom Telesco, period. Period. And then you go to the most current one, Omarion Hampton. Right now, you kind of still early in the season, but you got an idea about these players at this point. Omarion Hampton, definitely is a hit.
Sad that he got injured. So stats are going to show bad about him his first year, but and you can't prevent an injury sometimes. So
no, exactly. But I mean, at the same side, you're seeing the skill set and you're seeing okay, this guy's a system fit, which is great to see. Now, Trey Harris is another guy. He's getting more involved and he's made some clutch catches so far too. I think, and he's actually one of the best blocking wide receivers right now for this team too. Jamari Caldwell was a guy that was an absolute hit for us, and he has been making plays. If you watch any of his videos and just his highlights, the guy has been really, really good for us. A big body guy for the D-line. Kyle Kennard, to be determined, but it's one of those guys that even when they drafted him, they said, hey, man, you're probably going to play a lot more special teams than anything. And so they kind of know that there is a level of figuring out to be able to get his gears going for the NFL level. He was an SEC Defensive Player of the Year too, by the way, and we got him kind of late in the draft. Keandre Lambert-Smith, it's a guy that's going to develop a little bit with this team, but then you go back to that late hit again with Oronde Gadsden. Absolute home run again. That is huge. And Branson Taylor, he's had a knee situation when he was at Pitt. I'm sure they're just trying to get his body right. He might be one of those guys that they're going to fit in the interior O-line with his team. We'll see what happens.
I keep forgetting about Taylor. It's a deep cut right there. Feeling like,
yeah, dude. But the funny thing about it is he's out at the, obviously the facility and everything too. And I keep thinking, why don't they get him more involved, or why are they not thinking about that? But I think they're just kind of choosing certain players that they're like, hey man, we want to get you your gears rolling and get you used to the NFL. We want to teach you up to basically where we want to get you as a player kind of thing and get your body right kind of thing. So I think that's kind of a smart thing where you can kind of pick and choose on players on that. I felt with Tom Telesco, it was more hey man, I knew you just blew out your knee, but get out there, buddy, figure it out kind of thing. Or just in a guy that's injury prone. I think we're doing the smart things of getting people's body right and get the players to where they feel that they could be a high level player for us. So we'll see what Branson
100%.
Taylor could do for us. But RJ Mickens, late round hit, guys out on the field all the time. And Trequez Bridges is playing for the Dallas Cowboys, which I liked him. He just is coverage.
That's a bummer.
Coverage, skill set's a little bit off, but a great speed, great size as a player.
Did we get him for something, or did we get it, or he just got picked up on waivers?
Yeah, they cut him. He got picked up on waivers. So
dang, that's too bad.
Look, Joe Hortiz has made a lot of hits. And he's done a whole heck of a lot with this team. And to be honest, people are jumping on him a little bit more than I think you need to at this point. And I will take this over a Tom Telesco-based team any day. Any day.
Yeah, all day.
He has done some great things too. And I know Athir has been one of those guys that's been pretty critical too on him. But a $4.99 super chat. Let's go.
$5 holla.
Joe Hortiz. Joe Hortiz don't need to worry about Aether or Bolt Bros or the fans, the LA media will be on his A if you don't fix this line and spend money. And you can't do anything about it now. I mean, I wish he did it in 2025 in the offseason, but unfortunately the cards didn't work out well. Like that's where we have $111 million next season. We're going to have some picks too. I wouldn't be mad at him if he went with just high level O-line picks round 1 and 2. I would not be mad at that by any means, because really look at it like this. Look at the team as a whole. Do we need cornerbacks? Nah, we do not. We got Dante Jackson on a 2-year contract. You got Cam Hart, Tariq Still. Nope, don't need it. Do we need safeties? No. We have RJ Mickens. We got Elijah Molden, who is another guy that we traded for. You got Derwin James. You're totally fine there. Linebackers you might need to start looking at that area. Deion Henley, Denzel Perryman, maybe he'll come back again too. Troy Dye, possibly too. Maybe Junior Colson to be that guy too. D-line wise, you could probably say there's some interior guys. You got a lot of 1-year guys at this point. But, edge guys, you could probably say, hey, maybe you go after Trey Hendrickson or something like that because he's going to be a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
Then you really look at the offensive side of things too. Do you need a tight end? Nah, you got Oronde Gadsden. Do you need wide receivers? We got a boatload of wide receivers, almost too many wide receivers at this point. And then running backs wise, you could probably say, hey, you could probably do that too. But I think we could maybe even attack that on free agency, go after a Breece Hall or something like that. But then you look at the O-line and you think, okay, Zion Johnson's had a contract at this point. You could possibly even cut Mekhi Becton and save $10 million. And you could obligate that money at that point. Really, it's those 3 interior positions that you're going to focus on. If you go 2 draft picks, say round 1 and 2, or fill one of those with basically a free agency guard or center or whatever it might be. Yeah, this will be a totally different looking O-line. And you'll have Rashawn Slater back and, Joe Alt back. So personally, there's not many needs with this team with, going into next season with $111 million in 6 draft picks. So O-line is going to be a focus, guaranteed.
100%. Yep. And Hugo's got a good one here too. Yeah. No particular order. We need offensive line, edge, and interior defensive line.
100%
in the first 3 rounds.
100%. 100%.
Whatever best available players for each round, essentially, that's where we go, Yeah,
and go back to one of the moves that Joe Ortiz did, Odafe Owe. And he could be another guy that you could bring back next year. What if they just sign him to a 1-year contract, bring him back for $7 million? I'd do that in a heartbeat. You could bring back Khalil Mack too if you like to. And it's going to be a year-to-year thing with Khalil Mack. Tuli Tuipulotu, I think, is going to deserve getting an extension here pretty shortly. I think he'll be fine. And so Kyle Kennard potentially could turn on a little bit next season too. So, but if you really want to go after those guys, we could totally do that. I think it's good. But interior O-line, 100% is going to be a focus. Guaranteed that's going to be some of our first signings for this team. And somebody even brought up center.
Specifically center. Yeah.
And Eddie talked about it with Tyler Linderbaum from the Ravens. Like, I don't think that he's going to leave the Ravens, but the same side, you never know what the Ravens are thinking. You never know what they're thinking. And maybe even the same side with the Chargers. Maybe they're really thinking about trying to bring back Zion Johnson to be a center. I don't know. So I think the offseason is going to be great, but guess what? We still got 6 games ahead, and I want to just go over that real quick. And we're still in the playoff running, by the way, guys, at 7-4.
100%. Yeah.
We're looking fine. We're looking fine at this point, but we got 3 games here, guys, to be able to keep an eye on. And I know Kyle did kind of an idea of like what he's thinking the season will end with this team, and 50-50 chance to win this, that, and everything with these teams that are ahead here. Now, I'm just going to say we're at the bye week. Hey, that's a dub. That's a dub right now. That is an absolute dub for us. I'll take that. That is a dub for us. So doesn't count towards the records, but it's huge.
Here's the thing too, though. You're right, though. Like, I mean, you said this earlier, like the Jaguars game, we were pretty much healthy going into that game. I mean, and besides all those players that are on IR right now, we were pretty much in good shape going into the Jaguars game, but we just kind of like, we just took an L on that one. We folded, with basically aces in our hand, whatever. I don't know. Totally. And so now, but we're going to come in even more refreshed after this bye week, because essentially we're going to be like, 2-week bye week, Yep.
Yeah. And ultimately too, Justin Herbert got, benched during that game and everything too, which, I mean, it's only a couple minutes or whatever it is, but to allow him to say, hey, get your mind right, get your body right. we're going to come back after the bye feeling way better. I mean, the thing is, though, when
Can
you
I-
get Omarion Hampton back, I think is going to be a huge addition too, pairing him with Kamani Vidal too.
100%. I just say though too about benching Justin Herbert there.
Yeah.
Like I like what he did there because obviously the game was already lost at that point.
Yep.
But at the same side, you do really want someone that can come from behind and win the game.
Yep.
Like it's like that kind of felt kind of weird to me in a lot of ways. I'm like, should we do that? I just don't know. So it's like that's my only thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I mean, that's a pretty big deficit to come back from. And I think ultimately what it was is like, hey, look, this offensive line isn't where we think it needs to be right now to help you and make sure you're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing you want to do is go to like, let's give a Brandon Staley, focus going before the Jaguars game. And then you put Mike Williams out there, he gets injured. And then you go into the Jaguar game without Mike Williams. What could that difference been if you had Mike Williams in that game kind of thing? And it's a long season ahead. I think he ultimately was just saying, hey, look, this O-line is really just trashing Justin Herbert. Let's just move on and let's take this L and go from there. Like, we're fine. I think it's move ahead and let's go kind of thing. Ultimately, last thing we would want the heat to come on to Jim Harbaugh saying, why did you not bench Justin Herbert when 5 minutes left of the game and you're down by whatever amount of points it might be? Like, he doesn't want that heat. He doesn't want that heat. And that's a smart move. Yeah. I think it's a smart move.
Yeah.
If you move on to the games here, I'm just going to put a W here. Chargers will win this one. So, I mean, the way that and actually just to say the last thing here too, this point right here with these two games, ultimately I wanted to win one of these. Like, and that sounds really weird to say, but you got to pick and choose at this point. Like, I wanted to win one of them, and the one that I wanted to win was obviously Steelers would have been a great one, but the Jaguars would have been even more critical of a game because that's where it could kind of shift a little bit between like the wild card 5th, 6th, or 7th type seed type of thing if we're in the wild card race. Now we're in still the race to win the division. Now Broncos could lose one game, Chargers win that one. We're only half game back from them, and then we also play the Broncos last game of the season, which is going to be a flex game here, guys. Like. So that could be a huge, huge game. Like the NFL is setting this up very well.
Oh yeah,
at this point.
No, 100%. The script is kind of being put together here pretty soon. Yeah.
Yep. So the one thing I love about coming out of this bye week, you essentially get 3 weeks being at home, and that's great. Like that is an absolute good way to reset for this team. Now, Jim Harbaugh basically gave the players off this week. Like, hey man, just go out there and get your mind right. Like Justin Herbert's in Oregon right now with Madison Beer. I hear some rumor that they're trying to buy some $20 million mansion together now or some weird thing or something like that. It's wild to hear, but players are out just trying to separate themselves a little bit, which, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, but guaranteed they're going to lock back in for Raider week. And they're already being locked in with footage to watch over the game. Monday, they came into the game after the Jaguars. They're still already got everything for the Raider game to get ready for that one. So they're going to be locked in. I'm pretty confident of that. Raiders
100%.
or Eagles Chargers game. I don't know what Kyle you put on this one. I know it's kind of one of those 50-50 games, but at the same side, they've been banged up on their O-line. Their left tackle is gone too. He basically had an injury too. Oh my gosh, what was the Eagles left tackle? He basically is out too. No, it's not Jordan Malta as a right tackle, I believe. Anyways. It's Lane Johnson. He's out too for this game. So what does that do? That means that we could really start attacking this O-line quite a bit. Their offense has not been very good. Their defense has been very good. So this is really going to be a battle of the defenses. What defense can make you make mistakes, in my opinion? Something inside me feels like the Chargers are going to make a huge statement on this because Justin Herbert in primetime Herbert is undefeated this season. Brazil won. Monday Night Football, Raiders 1, Titans 1, Steelers 1. These are all like pretty sure wins. Ironically, the Raider one wasn't a sure one, but it definitely score-wise didn't look that good, but it was a dominant win one way or another.
Yeah.
Something tells me the Eagles, we're going to win this one. We're going to win this one, guys. And I look at it like we just need to find a way, win 3 games to get to 10. And then basically, I think we'll be fine at that point. There's a chance
at
we
that
could go
point,
to 11.
we have a ticket to the show if we win 3 for sure.
Yep. And I'm okay with that. And I'm totally okay with that. And I think that would be a good fit for this team. Now, this team going to the Chiefs early morning games does not treat us well, guys. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if we swept the Chiefs. I would love it if we swept the Chiefs, but I'm going to say
amazing.
I'm going to say we're going to take an L on this one.
Boo.
I'm taking
just
an
say
L.
50. Just say 50-50. It's a 50-50 chance.
50-50. Hey, but the season could adjust, and this is where the state of the teams are right now. Like things could shift and things could change for every team at this point. Cowboys, I'm going to say this is going to be the early morning game that we finally get a win. And why I'm saying that is because I think Cowboys are highly inconsistent. I think we're inconsistent, but I think we have a better defense. I think we have an offense that could score too. As long as our good defense shows up for this one, I think we got a great shot at winning this one. So I think we got a good shot on this one. Now, Texans back at home. I don't know where to take this one. Like, because I don't know where and what team's going to show up. Their defense is absolutely stout. I mean, they just manhandled Josh Allen too, made him look silly. Yeah. That's going to be a weird one, guys. And there's my opinion. If I'm going to choose at this point, I think the Chargers will lose this one because I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But hey, now you come to the big game. This could be the division game at this point. And I think that the Broncos are on a bye week right now too. And I think that there's a good chance that they could probably go at about a 3-2 record for the rest of the season up to this week 18 game. This could be the division, boys. This could be the division.
100%. Yep.
And I don't know what you put on this one, Kyle, but I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
So yeah, it's like I said, that could be the divisional game. Like, so I while we were doing this, sitting around here too, I went to that the 2025-26 season playoff predictor and kind of just did the entire season.
Yeah.
During this thing. And I did say, like, put us in a spot where both teams could be 12-5 at this point, or before this game would be like 11-4 essentially, or no, like we would be right now 11-5 for this game, and the Broncos would be they would be 12-4 for this game or something like that. It's what I had. So if we beat them here, then we take the division and then take the third seat. That's where I'm thinking. Yeah,
bro. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see a Chargers playoff game at home. And if we could find a way to basically make that happen and this to basically become the division, I think the Chargers got to get up. I think you're going to get up and get a dub on this one, man.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be a homer by any means at these picks by any means, but this game can be absolutely massive. Now it's going to be both teams are going to go to the playoffs regardless. It's now just seeding at this point. This game sets up so well to like a Monday night flex. Like it absolutely sets up perfectly for a Monday night flex.
Right. It determines the whole division at that point, So the problem that I have with this game is that when I did the whole season, like it would show that, okay, we play the Broncos here and then we play the Broncos again, like right after. So it's like, it's literally, it's like a little playoff game now and then a playoff game, actual, so it's like, oh gosh. So
crazy.
Like no matter what, like that's how it was going to be. Like we would have to play the Broncos twice in a row. Yeah. So, geez. Yeah. And then, one game would be at the Broncos or it could be at home for the Chargers the next time, So yeah, it's it could determine a lot of different things.
It would be wild to see that, but it would be great to see this Chargers team go 4-2, find a way to take the division, take it away from the Broncos. By the way, that would be just
phenomenal,
absolutely incredible. I'd love to see that. And by the way, the last time the Broncos lost a game was against the Chargers, by the way. So it's been a while for them for a loss, and they need to lose some games too. You can't go into the playoffs feeling like you win every game because you don't really win much from that. Like, yes, you win games, but you got to learn also too to lose and take from those losses of where you could get better. And so I think that's one thing that needs to happen here. Now, Aether did throw a $1.99 super chat.
Yep.
James, relax. Bolt sweep KC, my bro. Believe me. Hey, dude, I'll take it. And if it happens, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with taking an L against the Eagles and then going next week and beating the Chiefs. Like, if we go 2-0 against the Chiefs, great. That buries their season.
And realistically, that's actually kind of the ideal situation. We can take the L against the Eagles and the Cowboys and still and be seated very high in the AFC. So
I'm okay with it. Ultimately, the goal is get 3 wins. You could get a playoff spot. 4 wins will basically guarantee you a playoff spot, potentially find a way to even get division level at that point. So that's where my head's at on this thing, man. But I'm excited about the rest of the season. It's crazy to think that there's only 6 games left this season. Now, I just want to see the extended season. My last thoughts, and I'm just going to kind of reiterate what I last just said. Can we get a division winning win over the Broncos or find a way to snatch the division away from the Broncos and get a nice playoff game at SoFi? That will be a tremendous addition for this team, for the Chargers. Huge for Justin Herbert. It would be an absolute massive thing. And I think this team in general has been absolutely rocky all around. As you know, with this O-line situation, it's been a really big mess and everything too. But guess what? We got a coaching staff that knows how to coach and a coaching staff that can get the best out of players. And I feel confident about that. So look, if we get a home game and win the division, that's going to be an absolute tremendous feat for this team. And a lot of teams with all these injuries generally could fold pretty quickly. And this team 100%. Is not giving up by any means. So keep the faith, guys. Bolt up. We got 6 more games. Let's just make it happen, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the reality is that, like, look, as we said before, the season ain't over by a long shot. You know, we still have very good chance of going very high in the playoffs. The division is wide open. There's still plenty of scenarios that could play out that we could take the division from the Broncos. We could take it, away from the Chiefs, all that stuff. The Chiefs can just collapse. My biggest concern was, like, on Wednesday's show, was talking about how the Chiefs are they know how to eat in December and January. Like, like this is their time to shine, and they can just win out. That's just, they wake up and at this time of the year and stuff. So that's always my question. Big question mark. What kind of Chiefs are going to show up in a minute here? But look, I mean, our rookies are looking good though. That's kind of like one of my thoughts I wanted to end on too. Is that, like, we had a good draft this year, and even despite our O-line troubles and despite the fact that Justin Herbert is probably the most hit, quarterback in the league right now, he just needs to adjust. And then we'll make those adjustments going into the play this point of the year, and we should be able to win the games that need to be won. And that's it.
Absolutely, man. And just last thoughts here from Aether too. James, after the victory at Kansas City, I'm going to come on the show and say, whose house is this? Chargers house. He also followed it up with a 99-cent super chat too. So yeah, man. Hey, I'm ready for it, man. And I think these next 6 games are going to be very exciting, man. And I can't wait for the Chargers to get back to football next weekend versus the Raiders. I cannot wait to see it. But guys, it's Raiders week. So go out there. Once again, it's always family, trust, and respect every week, all day, every day. And this is even more special this week going into the Raider game. So appreciate it, guys. And appreciate you guys tuning in. A little bit longer of a show. And it's kind of funny. We did a little bit longer of a show on a bye week. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, right. I may as well, hey, but I got one more thing I wanted to do for the chat here. It's like, this is something I forgot to do on Wednesday. This is the cursed team of the week wheel. So yeah. So if it lands on a bye team or a team that already played, then I'll just spin it again. But here, let's go. Yeah, this is the cursed team of the week.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go.
Boy.
Oh! I thought it was going to be Chiefs, and I was like, oh boy.
Oh yeah.
But okay. I mean,
hey, we'll take it. Yeah.
I think they're cursed already. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
They really are cursed. Should we do another one? Because they already are cursed. So it's kind of like, this is.
Give me one more spin. Give me one more spin.
Give me one more spin. Here, one more spin. Yeah, that's like that was kind of a given one. Yeah. One more time.
Oh well, they're pretty cursed too. All right,
they're pretty cursed too. That's all right.
2 cursed teams here.
2 cursed teams. All right. Yeah. Well, that was an AFC team and an NFC team. There you go. All right.
So funny, so funny. And I think it was Pappy saying, "See you all at the Raiders game." You know, there will be some fans there too. We will not be at the game, but Andrew and I and Kyle, I believe, is going to come out for the Eagles game. So we will be all 3 there at the Eagles game, Monday Night Football. So we're going to be excited to be there for that one. So that'll be good.
Definitely.
So, but once again, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. We always appreciate the love and support and love you guys getting very involved with our conversations here too. So we always appreciate it, guys. But enjoy a stress-free Sunday football.
Exactly.
So good times, guys. But let's get on out of here.
All righty.
All right, guys. Bolt Bros. Oh, wait. What are you trying to throw something out there now?
What? Who is?
Oh, I thought you were about to jump in there and say something else, dude.
No, I wasn't. I was just making sure I'm hitting the right. Making sure I'm hitting the right button this time. That's what I'm.
Sure. All right, guys.
All right.
Bolt Bros.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast.